You work hard, follow all the rules, try to save money and even invest, but something always seems to hold you back. Sound familiar? It might be hard to hear this, but you could be destroying your own wealth without even realizing it. The most intriguing part: many people spend their entire lives believing that external factors are to blame for their financial stagnation. The government, the economy, the market, inflation. But what if the biggest obstacle isn't out there, but inside you? What if, without realizing it, you're the one pulling the rug out from under yourself? The human mind is a powerful tool, but also a dangerous trap. We make excuses, justify bad habits, and avoid the discomfort of change. And the worst part? Many of these self-sabotaging decisions happen without you even noticing. Your brain craves comfort, stability, and predictability, and that could be costing you the wealth you desire. Epictetus once said, "No one can harm you more than yourself." That statement has never been more true when it comes to money. Small habits, limiting beliefs, and invisible fears keep most people stuck in a cycle of working hard but never achieving financial freedom. The truth is, you may be unconsciously sabotaging yourself, and if you don't recognize it now, you might stay trapped in the same cycle forever. But how does this happen? What's really holding you back from thriving? That's exactly what we're going to uncover in this video. Many people believe they want to build wealth, but in reality, they do the exact opposite. Procrastination takes over their financial decisions, turning every step toward prosperity into an endless struggle. Think about someone who always says, "I'll start investing as soon as I have some extra money." Years go by, and they're still waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Meanwhile, those who started small, even without a high salary, have watched their wealth grow. Delaying investments, avoiding debt management, or simply failing to plan for the future are common behaviors that block financial progress. Another major culprit of financial self-sabotage is impulsive spending. We buy things to relieve stress, to feel good in the moment, only to be hit with guilt afterward. This cycle of desire and regret drains resources that could have been used to build lasting wealth. Fear also plays a crucial role. Many people avoid investing or making strategic financial decisions because they're terrified of losing money. This excessive fear of loss keeps them stuck, while those who learn to manage risks are able to multiply their wealth over time. There's also a psychological factor that often goes unnoticed: resistance to change. We create justifications to maintain habits we already know are harmful. "I deserve this splurge." "Saving doesn't matter if I don't make much." Or, "It's impossible to get rich honestly." These thoughts reinforce limiting beliefs that keep us from progressing. The financial comfort zone is one of the biggest enemies of prosperity. It keeps us stuck in unsatisfying jobs, makes us accept low incomes, and stops us from exploring new opportunities. After all, any step outside this zone feels too risky and uncomfortable. The Stoic philosophers taught that the greatest prison is the one created by our own minds. Marcus Aurelius, for example, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." When we believe the problem lies in the external world, we lose control over our actions. But when we recognize that our daily decisions shape our financial future, we finally take back the power to change. Recognizing that financial self-sabotage exists is already a big step forward. But the problem runs deeper than it seems. It's not enough to identify destructive behaviors. You need to understand why they happen and why they're so hard to change. Many people know they should spend less, invest more, and plan their finances better, yet they remain stuck in the same habits. If the solution was simply more information, no one would struggle financially. The real challenge is turning knowledge into action. The truth is, your relationship with money is deeply rooted in emotional and psychological factors. Fear of scarcity, the desire for status, and the unconscious need for social validation influence financial decisions far more than logic does. This explains why so many people spend compulsively or avoid facing their financial reality. Without realizing it, they seek immediate comfort in behaviors that keep them trapped in the same cycle of financial struggle. Another key factor is that most people underestimate the power of small habits. It's not a single financial mistake that ruins a person's financial future. It's a series of small, bad decisions repeated daily. That seemingly harmless impulse purchase, postponing financial planning, the fear of investing, it all adds up over the years, creating a snowball effect of frustration and stagnation. There's also the false belief that earning more money automatically solves financial problems. In reality, without discipline and a strong financial mindset, an increase in income only amplifies existing mistakes. How many times have we heard stories of people who made a fortune but lost it all? That happens because the real issue was never the money itself, it was how it was managed. If external wealth alone doesn't guarantee prosperity, then what truly makes the difference? What separates those who build a solid financial future from those who are constantly struggling to stay afloat? The answer lies in mindset, and this is exactly where Stoic philosophy comes in, offering a practical and timeless approach to breaking this cycle. The Stoics believed that true freedom isn't about how much money you have, but about the control you have over your own actions and desires. External wealth can be lost, but discipline and the right mindset remain. Yet many people spend their lives sabotaging their own finances because they fail to understand this fundamental truth. One of the main reasons for financial self-sabotage is an irrational fear of loss. The human brain is wired to avoid risks and protect what we already have, which leads many people to reject opportunities out of fear of the unknown. This fear prevents strategic decision-making and keeps people stuck, paralyzed when they should be taking action. Another major issue is the pursuit of instant gratification. Modern society encourages reckless consumption, pushing people to spend more than they should just to satisfy momentary desires. Think of someone who, after a bad day, treats themselves to an expensive purchase to feel better. In the short term, it brings relief, but in the long run, this habit creates a financial hole. The inability to delay gratification destroys the possibility of building long-term wealth. The Stoics taught that true contentment comes from self-control, not indulgence. A victim mentality is also one of the greatest enemies of prosperity. Many people blame the government, the economy, or their upbringing for their lack of financial progress. While external factors do play a role, Stoic philosophy teaches that what's within our control, our decisions and reactions, is what truly shapes our destiny. Another common mistake is the illusion of absolute control. Many people believe they can only take action when they're completely certain of the outcome, leading them to procrastinate on important financial decisions. Stoicism teaches that we will never have total control over the future, but that shouldn't stop us from making the best choices possible in the present. A lack of resilience also fuels self-sabotage. Many people give up at the first sign of difficulty, whether it's an investment that drops in value or a period of financial struggle. The Stoics, on the other hand, saw challenges as opportunities for growth and believed that emotional stability is essential for navigating tough times without making impulsive decisions. The Stoic perspective on money isn't that it should be despised, but that it should be used wisely. To the Stoics, real wealth doesn't come from accumulating possessions. It comes from living with balance and without being enslaved by money. Those who fail to understand this end up spending beyond their means, trying to fill an internal void that consumption can never satisfy. The path to financial prosperity doesn't start with investment strategies. It starts with a shift in mindset. As long as you see money only as an end goal rather than a means to a more stable and meaningful life, you will continue making the same mistakes, believing you're one step away from a lucky break while silently draining your own resources. From this Stoic perspective, it becomes clear that the biggest obstacle to wealth isn't out in the world, it's within you. And if you don't change the way you think, no financial strategy will be enough to transform your reality. Now that we understand how Stoic philosophy explains financial self-sabotage, the next question is, how can we apply this knowledge to break the cycle? That's exactly what we'll explore in the next section. Understanding why we sabotage our finances is a big step, but without action, knowledge becomes useless. The Stoics taught that wisdom only has value when applied in practice. If you want to transform your financial life, you need to adopt concrete habits that strengthen your discipline, resilience, and long-term vision. The first step is to take full responsibility for your finances. Stop blaming external factors and start seeing your decisions as the key variable in your financial success. Instead of thinking, the market is unfair or I didn't have the same opportunities, ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve my situation? This simple mindset shift already puts you in control of your journey. The second step is to create Stoic rules for handling money. The Stoics believed that all decisions should be based on reason, not emotion. The same applies to money. Before making any major financial choice, ask yourself, am I acting logically or being driven by impulse? Most people make financial decisions in the heat of the moment, whether it's impulse buying, panic selling an investment at a loss, or overspending to impress others. The problem is that these choices, when added up, create a devastating long-term impact. The third step is to prepare for uncertainty. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the anticipation of the worst. In finance, this means having an emergency fund, diversifying investments, and never relying on a single income source. Imagine two people with the same job. One never saved money, and when they got laid off, the first panicked, went into debt, and struggled for months to recover. The other, applying the Stoic principle of preparation, had an emergency fund and was able to stay calm while looking for new opportunities. This isn't about living in fear, it's about being ready to face adversity without desperation. The fourth step is to act despite fear. The Stoics taught that fear shouldn't be a brake, it should be a guide. The fear of losing money can be useful if used correctly, leading you to make well-calculated decisions. But when it paralyzes you, it becomes destructive. How many people avoid investing because they think they don't know enough, when they could start small and learn along the way? How many stay in jobs they hate out of fear of change? The truth is, action is the best antidote to fear. Instead of waiting for the perfect opportunity, focus on small daily steps. Investing a little each month, cutting unnecessary expenses, and learning more about finances, all of these have a greater impact than the illusion of a sudden big change. Financial progress doesn't happen all at once. It comes from consistent actions that over time create a solid foundation. A major self-sabotage trap is procrastination. Many people know they need to save, invest, or change their habits, but keep putting it off. The best way to break this cycle is to take immediate action. If you wait for the ideal conditions, you'll never start. The truth is, the ideal conditions will never exist. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. If you feel like you need clearer guidance on applying Stoicism to your financial life, we've created a special resource for that. The ebook Stoic Wealth is a practical guide that connects Stoic principles to personal finance, helping you break the cycle of self-sabotage and build a more balanced and stable financial life. You can find the link in the first pinned comment of this video. Additionally, it's crucial to develop a long-term mindset. Many people make financial decisions based on what seems beneficial at the moment, only to face negative consequences later. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what has lasting value, whether it's money, knowledge, or relationships. The more you consider the future impact of your choices, the less likely you are to fall into financial traps. Finally, the Stoics remind us that true wealth isn't just about what we accumulate, but about what we can preserve and use wisely. Earning well means little if your relationship with money is chaotic. Financial balance isn't about deprivation. It's about aligning your resources with your values. The decision is in your hands. You can keep repeating the same patterns, waiting for something to change on its own, or you can take control, apply Stoic principles, and transform your relationship with money. What will you choose to do starting today? Financial self-sabotage isn't an inevitable fate. It's a cycle that can be broken. Stoic philosophy teaches us not to worry about what's beyond our control, but to strengthen what is within our power, our decisions, our discipline, and our ability to act rationally. When you stop blaming the outside world and take full responsibility for your finances, you begin to see opportunities where you once saw only obstacles. Throughout this video, we explored how fear of loss, the desire for instant gratification, and financial procrastination keep millions of people trapped in destructive patterns. We also saw that the real secret to prosperity isn't just about how much money you make. It's about how you manage and use it to build a strong future. Small, consistent actions rooted in Stoic principles create the stability and freedom so many people seek. Now, you have the knowledge to identify and eliminate the behaviors that are holding you back from financial success. If you apply these ideas in your daily life, you'll see real changes, not just in your relationship with money, but in how you perceive your own ability to build wealth. Stoicism isn't a philosophy of contemplation, it's a philosophy of action. And now, tell me, which of these self-sabotaging behaviors have you experienced? Comment below. If this content brought you value, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to keep learning about Stoicism and finance. That way, you'll not only strengthen your mindset, but also help spread this message to more people who need this transformation. Remember, the power to change is in your hands. Stay on the path to prosperity. Until we meet again.